Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the FAI World Gliding World Air Series. And this is race number 6, which is taking place tonight in the UK. Nice to see you all with us, and let's hope we have a good night's racing tonight across UK territory. It's as you can see from the map now, it starts at Camp Hill, which is in the Peak District. And just as a by point here, it hosted the 1954 World Gliding Championships, so it's not a stranger to world events. Then you've got what we call an assigned area task tonight, which is a bit different. As you can see, you've got 3 turning points. The first one up to the north, and that circle is where you would go into, and you can go as far into that circle as you feel you want to. Come back to the second one, down and right as you're looking at the screen, across to the left, and then down to finish. The thing about an assigned area task is you can go anywhere in those sectors. However, I believe tonight that we're on an hour and 30, so that's the task time that they want you to complete it in and do as maximum distance as possible. The minimum distance on this task is 79 kilometers, and the maximum distance that could be achieved is 244. 2 keys here. 1, don't land out, and 2, I've just lost it. Don't come in under time, because if you come in 10 minutes under time, you will be scored up to the 2 hours, which is how an AAT works. Come in over time, provided your overall average score is higher. So it's also, I don't know, I can't see it on there, but where we are tonight is close to Alton Towers. So if anybody fancies going to the fairground, then there is one there. It's northwest UK up towards Manchester, as you can see. I don't know how many we've got in at the moment. Quite a few, I should think. So we're having a look at the map. People, we are what we call the join time at the moment. So people have 20 minutes to join the task. Then the join window closes. They then have a further 10 minutes to gain height or be in the right place for starting. And then once they've done that, they have an hour, in this case tonight, to start. The difference between this task and a normal triangle, for example, is that it gives pilots the opportunity to go where they want and do what they want. There is a bit of a habit in real flying and this to do like, oh, I'll follow this one because he's really good, and you can't do that on one of these because you don't know until the end, apart from anything else, who's done best. The one first round may not do very well at all. So it's all about doing your own thing on an assigned area task. Oh, we're off. So here we go. So we've got one interesting thing there, which says no ASW20, LS3 or LS4. So I'm guessing we're on Cirruses, Labels, DG, that sort of thing. I see on the list 09 Frank. I can't see where he is. I'm looking at the moment, but there's quite a few in. I don't know how we got a few in already. I didn't see how good the lift would be. The start height, yeah, they're quite high. They're 1,500 meters up at Cloud Base by the looks of it. The start height is, I think, about 4,000 feet or thereabouts. and there's a whole gaggle here. I can see, yeah, I can see Frank in there. There's a gaggle of them. 6 BM, quite a few. Looks actually the sky looks quite good. A bit of top cover, but should be okay. The date for the actual date on Condor for this is actually today's date. So we have got the 1st of May. Just to bring you up to speed on who's what and names to keep your eyes on. Mile Naus KMI is in the overall lead after 5 races, with Arnie Martin in 2nd place and David Redman in 3rd. Norbert Kiss is in 4th, but I don't think he does the early one. I don't think he does this particular time slot. That will come up on a different one. So they're the guys that are out in front at the moment. Obviously, being a Brit, I've got, if they're about, Stuart Henschel is the top Brit with Chris Pearson, and then Zelko not far behind. So see if they manage to do reasonably well tonight. And there's Arnie Martin. Actually, we've got him just pulled up. Yeah, that looks quite good. I believe the Vario, it's not compensated when they pull up like that. That's when they pull up. So you have to give it a chance to settle down before you can actually tell what the thermal is actually like. So he's been joined by W22, UWE, IK is there. So that's all the, if you like, all the regular people that you see at these events are here on this server tonight so far. If you look at the scenery, you can see how hilly it is. Camp Hill sits, I think it's down centre, that long brown piece. I think it's that bit. It's 405 meters high above sea level. And it's, as I say, it's fantastic countryside around there. So it's all looking good. I would normally be in on here as well. For those that know tail number JEZ or Jez, but I thought I'd give this a try instead tonight. Have a rest. Laszlo Orsi, who we're on now, EJE ASW20. Another one who's usually well up there in the lead. Let's just see what he's got thermal wise. Let it settle down. It's sort of half in, half out by the looks of it. Oh, we're on another one. Yeah, it's all looking good so far. So the trick will be the wind is from the east, and the first and second track lines are pretty much north-south-ish. So probably they would, difficult to tell, but possibly go slightly to the right of the first, and then down to the bottom corner on the second, depending on how good it is. I don't think the ridges will be good enough to do ridges. I think this is more a countryside thermal type task. David Redman. David Redman's from Australia, and he is, as I said, he's 3rd. He's doing very well at the moment. Hopefully he will carry on that tonight. It's nice we can zoom in and out and watch and see what's going on. Well, they're all climbing up there, so it can't be that bad because there's not many low down. I don't know how long we've got to go till the start. Can't be that far away now. One would have thought we're but a few minutes before people can go. So it looks they're all up around about between 1,000 and 1,500 meters. Oh, first standard Cirrus and that we've seen today, ZUZ, Nicholas Barrett. If I pronounce any names wrong, then I apologise now. I don't know what else we've got. Obviously we've seen 20s and things, but I don't know what else is. If there's a good spread or whether there's just another 20 F9. Looks like he's a bit further away than the rest of them, out on his own. Just LaBelle. Okay, so the start line will open in 2 minutes. So they'll all be now trying to get as high as possible before leaving. 9A is the first LaBelle I've seen, so we've got LaBelle Cirrus 20 in the mix. I mean, I'm not absolutely sure whether this works quite like a complete AAT in real life, but probably very close to it. But it should still be interesting to see where people go. Oh, Nicholas Barrett again. He's trying to see where he's going. I don't know how many we've got. Normally 30 to 40, I think, on the server. Been reliably informed 45, so we've got 45 competing tonight on this one. Oh, 35. But of course that won't be the full picture because there'll be more tomorrow, and that will add up. He seems to be struggling to get up to start height there. And here we have Mr. Meltzer, W20, another one who's high up there in the ratings. EQ, Emmanuel Quartier, ASW 20. We can't be far short of actually getting going. The clouds actually look a bit better than when we actually started 20-30 minutes ago. They look a bit more substantial, I think. Arnie Martin again, ASW 20. So now we have an open start line from what I can gather. So let's see who's going to make a break for it and go. 007 again, Michael Yankov, if I've got that pronounced correctly. So yeah, he's number one. He's off. That doesn't mean say he is going to go, because he may well come back, but he is the first one to actually cross. Snuck away while no one was looking. No, I've got a second. I mean, ideally, what you want is to look down the first leg and think, yep, that's going to be a couple of good thermals to get me on my way. You don't want to go off into a sky where you've got to make big deviations, or it doesn't look as good in front of you, and does look quite good down that leg at the moment. I think by looking at this, the weapon of choice tonight seems to be the 20. I've seen a couple of Sirius's, Lebel, but a lot of 20s in the mix. The only problem with that is the handicap is very high, whereas the standard series, for example, is quite low. So it means that the people in the 20s have got to do an awful lot better than those in the lower performing gliders. Okay, so 007, who started first, he's climbing up, and so he's a few miles down track. Good thermal there. People marking it for him. Take it and get a bit of height and go. But as I said, but the thing with an AAT is not going round the turning point in the sector. It's going into the sector and working out how far you can go before having to turn back to come back to the next sector. And then the third one, and do it all in an hour and a half in this particular case. Nice to see a view from above. gives you a good idea of what the scenery is like actually in that area. Personally, I've never flown there, but having watched a lot of videos and stuff of Camp Hill, it seems to be a very nice gliding club right on a hill. So that's obviously an advantage when most of us in the flatlands down in the south can't fly. Then they can and stay up. Aha! So 6 p.m. Chris Pearson. I know Chris personally. He used to fly with us at Watersham, and we do talk on Discord when we're flying on here and other stuff, along with ZL7 Zelco, who I think is actually just going. Oh no, there's another one. So Chris is in a 20 tonight. Both him and Zelco super critical of their own flying. I'm the slow one that follows up behind, whereas they're the ones that are roaring along, and they often say if you want to get round, follow him. If you want to go fast, you follow us. So, yeah, he does well in these things, Chris. He's given up real flying now, but he does do a lot of this one. Oh, we've said 431 meters, so he's about just over 1,000 feet. Getting a little bit low now. I didn't think he was doing very well when we were watching him before the start. I thought he doesn't seem to be connecting with anything here. I hope he doesn't. I hope he finds something, but we'll have to wait and see. Just as another point, I fly for real, and in fact, the club class is my class. Although in the UK, I get away with flying at Open Cirrus in the club class, which is quite nice because it's not competitive with anything else. Oh, what's he got here? So let's have a look at what his Vario's showing. Let it settle down a bit. Oh, it's called Chris is climbing well. Just over 1,000 meters. So that's 3,334 in thousands of feet. So, well, we've got a few now approaching the first sector. I think by the looks of it, although I'm a bit behind the car, I think quite a few have probably started now. And of course, I don't know how they'll do it on here. They must have a clock or something which is timing them and counting down the time, so they know how much longer they've got left. As I said, it doesn't matter if you go over time, provided your average speed is on the up rather than slowing down. But there's a group looks like a group going off to the left, which I don't know if looking at it, I think I would have possibly gone that way, because when you turn to go down the second leg, you are going slightly downwind. So it'll be easier to maneuver down the second leg rather than going to the right and then coming back slightly, only very slightly, but slightly into wind. Oh, our first Pegas. GDT. Gilles Dehant. Again, I apologise if I've got that wrong. He's got a fair amount of height. There's a couple of gliders with him. NY, SCR, and 007 is out there. That must be heading into the first sector. So the yeah, I can see you can see the sector now on their the edge of the sector on their left. As I say, with the wind from the east, then when they turn, they've got a slight downwind component to go to the next one. Is how far they dare venture into the first one. Another one. He's not Stefan Beach SCR. He's not that low, but he's not that high. Sort of middle. Um, gives you uh, the slope there. You can see that quite well, and now you can see the spread. People going in all sorts of different directions. So you just wouldn't be able to tell from this who was actually out in front. Always seems that UK tasks on Condor, people set them quite challenging. Um, we do get good weather in this country. I think I can't remember if it was last year or the year before. We had one day where the cloud base was 10,000 feet. I think everybody thought all their Christmases had come at once. Um, but that is so few and far between. And anybody who can remember it, 1976 was probably still the best year on record. So KOE is there. So he's it looks like we've sort of got KOE 007 SCR and GDT all coming out this way. IK back there, Mr. Ermis, who see quite frequently on here, and NY. Hopefully, ZUZ is still going. I think he was having a bit of a struggle, but I haven't been told that he's. Oh, there he is. Well, he's doing well. He's climbed 500 meters there. He was 431, so he's found one. The only problem you've got with that is that if you get really low on this and then spend a lot of time climbing back up again, you're losing the time because you've only got an hour and a half, so you're not going to make the distance. Um, I'm a great believer in staying high, which is why I'm so slow. But it, staying high and just cruising along quietly, which in anything with the word cirrus on, you do quite well. Just looking at others there, I think that's Marcin May um, in the mix there, a bit further ahead. I'm glad to see he's climbed up. That's I think now he's safe for a little bit longer. Meanwhile, up with David Redman now, who, as I say, is third overall in an LS4. Often think on Condor that the LS4 is probably in the club class the best glider to fly. Handicap is pretty good. It's less than the 20 and better than the others, and it's got a good glide angle. It goes well without water in it, so it's actually I think one of the best. And but yeah, I think he's picked the right glider. Just looking to see who's in there with him. So he's Arnie Martin is there by the looks of it. Oh yes, I don't know how far he's got, but watching Marcin May, who's actually going back towards the start line. So it could well be that he will have a later start. And if you look back now at the start area, behind it, you've got KMI, ZL7, to name but two. Yeah, Millet. So he is the overall leader at this particular point in time. I did get to fly with him or next to him on the Marburg Open on Friday, as he shot past me and kept going. And I still don't know how he did it, but I couldn't hang on to see. So he's leaving it late. There's usually a few that don't go until a lot of people have gone, and then they race through the pack, and they've got lots of markers. And to be fair, if you can use people to benefit yourself by actually watching where they are and where they're going up, then why not? We do it in real life these days with things like Power Flam. We can see what's going on ahead, and if I'm climbing in 2 knots and the guy 5k down the road is going around in 6, I'm going to leave my thermal and go to his. So so it looks like he's probably going to get ready. Marcin May has come back. Just looking at Zelko, he's in that. I think he's in this thermal as well, along with GHK. Let's see what he. Oh, here we go. What have we got? Ed, Moritz Lauter. I'm going to take a guess on that one. Another standard Cirrus. So there are quite a few, by the looks of it, that haven't actually gone anywhere yet. I'm just looking in the pictures. ZUZ he's gone, so he's and he looks quite high now from where I'm sitting. Yeah, there he is. That's a relief. We don't want him landing out straight away. Aha. Now looks like we're up with those who went. Ben Fest. In a DG 101. We have got a good spread here tonight. Be interesting to see what they manage to do with them all, because it's not just loads of Cirruses or loads of 20s. There are a few other gliders with very good pilots in them. Using them tonight to see how they go. So 007 SCR, I think this is the lead pack. IK is up there, and then Y is up there. I'm just going to have a look. Let's see who. I took a photograph earlier on to see who was to remind myself of where people were in the scheme of things. Aha! So here we go. So wow, KOE is streaking ahead off to the right, which he looks like he's definitely further. GDT's going well to the left. It looks like currently a 50-50 split, maybe. There's a whole gaggle just about to enter this first sector off to the right hand side. I'm looking at 007. KOE has really shot forward. Oh, nearly disappeared there. I thought, okay, yeah. So yeah, KOE is definitely gone the furthest at this particular point in time. I think there's still quite a gaggle that haven't started, and it'll be interesting to see where they all go. So we've got JL, so LS, another LS4. That's there's, yeah. So now we can see where they are in terms of at 007. Looks like he's going left. At KO, he's definitely going to the right. And SCR up the middle. Yeah, they found a good thermal. They've found looks like they've found a good thermal there. This the 3 of the minute. Mr. Ermis has done quite well. I didn't see him start, but he certainly seems to have gone on. I get the impression he's quite popular because whenever you go on to Condor, everybody says hello. So there's 2 or 3 of them there. The cloud, the sky looks fantastic. You can also now see the actual centre of the sector, so that gives you an idea of where they're all going. But does look quite good. And look, what have we got? SCR, Stefan Beach. He's off going left. Going quite fast as well. Of course, club class, if anybody isn't aware, I'm sure everybody is aware, but club class is basically no water. So they're flying these dry. And here we go. I've not even going to try and pronounce his the name, but another ASW20 LS. And it looks like he's gone a long way to the left. Oh, that's that. Oh, good pull up there. I know that was uncompensated, but he got a good bit back on that one. And of course, all the time on this, they know they're running against the clock. What do we got? Red. Yeah, so it's David Redman again. Quite high, 1,300 more. 1,300 meters and climbing. He just pulled up as he's leaving the cloud by the looks of it. 55k. So there must be a large number who are either haven't started or are just about to, or just have. EQ Emmanuel Courtier again, heading for red and and KOE. So, the map. So yes, we've got, yeah, KOE's obviously decided that's as far as he wants to go into this sector because he's now turned back to come down to the second one. SCR has gone nearly the same distance on the left-hand side, and the rest are all coming up behind, and there's still a large gaggle that I think possibly now have actually started. GDT took a bit of a detour there. He's gone into the sector and gone out of the sector and then going back in again. KOE has now left. Yeah, he's left the sector. GHK just entering by the looks of it. EQ. There's quite a few in there, but not as many as I thought. It looks like a lot of people are hanging back and not or have not gone too far yet. I was just looking at the height, 6 BM as the highest at the moment. So he's obviously had a good sermon and climbed. KOE's off to the second sector by the looks of it, and one would assume he will go down the left-hand side and speak of the devil. Here he is. So he's on his way. I just caught out the corner of my eye then KMI as well. So he's obviously started. Let's see how quickly he moves compared to the others. But it looks like KOE at the moment has gone the furthest. Yeah, then we got it's Mihaly, I guess. I'm trying to. I'll get it right at some point. I'll have to talk to these people to find out how to pronounce their names at some point in the future. Not going overly fast, but then it's not really I don't think it's a day for roaring along. I think it's a day for just flying carefully and conserving a bit of height. I've noticed a lot of them tend to be dolphining quite a bit, pulling up and weaving and then carrying on. So what have we got there? 2 meters, 1.22, 2 meters. Oh, that's got better. Aha, Chris Pearson. So, he only just started. He's taken another start. Ah, so that's interesting. He would he has the habit of doing that. If he's not happy with the first one, he'll go back if he's got time and go back and do another one. And I'm guessing that Martin May took another start as well because he's not far ahead by the looks of it. Okay. Didn't know he was in this evening. I guess that's Vitold Rozak. Also very, very good. In a 20. I didn't realise he was in on this server this evening. Another one to watch. It's quite an interesting task this evening because a lot of the ones we've done already, it's like a long line of gliders all close together. I think the one in South Africa, it was sort of going around in big gaggles, where they tend to be a little bit more spread out on this tonight. But that's the nature of an AAT. Pilots will make their own decisions about where they want to go. Which, if somebody's behind you, he might think, "No, I don't want to go that way. I want to go to the left or to the right or in a different direction because I think it's better in that direction." Um, which is why it's so good in real competitions or real flying competitions, should I say. That's one we haven't seen yet. Yeah, Jean Vincent, PJ, another ASW20 with somebody who's a bit below him, but I can't see who that is at the moment. I shall pick it out in a minute. I mean, the other thing that you'll get, you should get with the wind from the east, if you go up the left hand side, is if you've got a ridge, the thermals should accelerate up the face of the ridge. So that's something that I would look to be doing. I think they have a ridge below them, so that possibly that lift, as you can see, I can see it's 4.5, 4.6. That thermal's possibly accelerated up the face of the ridge there, and he's getting a good climb. I just saw 5.2 then, so a 9A, so that's another label. Almantas, and I'm not going to try and pronounce his surname, so we'll. There is a ridge line. If you look from where they are, there is where the river, because the river is always going to be the lowest point anyway. So if you look and follow that, you should get some good lift on the interwind face of that one. Oh, now another different glider. So we really have got a spread. I think we've just about got everything from the club class in here so far. DX1 ASW19. Han Kormol, I'm going to guess. That's interesting because he's obviously only just started. So a massive spread this evening in terms of when people are starting. Marcin May, yeah, it's the first time I think we've seen him close up this evening. Well, that was a good pull up. Yes, another one that flies fast. here we go to the map again. So let's have a look. I'm just looking at. I can't quite see what it is down in the bottom left. Just gone into the zone, but he's gone into the zone and out and back into it again. JT is going to end up going off the map. He's really on his way. Maybe it's a good thermal out that side, but that's definitely, by the looks of it, the furthest so far. Along with IK, KOE, EQ. I think that's EQ. EJE. Yeah, the right in the top corner there. That's quite a long way. So there's another gaggle. Not many left now. Approaching the first. A lot gone to the right, so a lot more gone to the right than gone to the left. I'm not sure. Let's just have a look at how long they've been going so far. But now there's 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on their way to the second sector, by the looks of it. It's interesting that JT's gone all the way out the other side. It must be he must be in a good thermal to be that far up. IK's gone a long way up there as well. But looks like he's had a good thermal there. He's off down towards the next sector with Arnie Martin. So 50. He's only flown 55.6. And Arnie Martin, same distance. But of course, they won't know. They won't know how far they've all flown at this particular stage in the proceedings, because they'll all have turned at different places. Oh, David Redmond, 55. But they're all seem to be about the same. I think the majority have been going over half an hour now. I didn't keep a track of the time, but I think we're over half an hour, so they've still got another hour to go. So they're not far. They're not far from going into the second sector by the looks of it. Aha! Jim the Swede. Oh dear. This looks a bit precarious. 230 odd meters. Again, I hadn't realised he was on here as well. Seen him a few times on here. This could be interesting, depending on whether that thermal works for him. He's going towards AM, I guess, with KOE, but it's whether at that height it's going to work for him. But it looks also I'm not sure, but NPX is quite low. Oh, 920. So yeah, no, he's fine. It's just the angle I'm looking at it at. It's Whiskey 22. That's the one that looks like he needs to find something very soon. Aha. So we've got KOE now and AM. I think KOE has caught Arnie up, and they're not that. It looks like they're not that too different on height. Oh, fingers crossed. Well, he's close. This will be a good save. 300 odd feet. And the most frustrating thing there is you're probably looking up, you're flying along, you're looking up, and you can see where they're turning. And just as you arrive, they clear off. And so now you've lost where they were turning, and hope you've got to hope, because obviously he can't see the lines that I can see. He's got to hope that he finds it. Well, 100 meters is about 300 feet, roughly. Yeah. Oh. Now there is a bit of a ridge. I don't know which way that's. If that's facing into wind, that could help him. But I've got a funny feeling that he's just gone too low. I'm sure I'll find out in a minute. Oh, that's him down. I think that's him down there, isn't it? On the bit further on. So we've got EQ now. Another ASW 20. As I said, if the two had stayed before, if AM and KOE, that would have given him a reference as to where to turn. But of course, when somebody leaves a thermal that you're just joining, you've then got to work to find it. And when you're that low, it doesn't help. Looking at it now, he has got the option to come back to EQ, depending on how far away he is from EQ. But I have a funny feeling the race might be nearly over. And if it isn't, that'd be a really good save. Sounds like he's possibly landed already. Yeah, so unfortunately, um, so we're off with the two guys at the front, KOE, AM. So they are furthest distance. You can see this. So they're both just coming up to 60k, around about 3,000 feet, the pair of them. And not far from the second sector. So, oh yeah, oh, gone quite. Oh, there's whiskey 22. Yeah, so there's a few coming a bit further to the inside of the track. KOE and AM out front. JT, who went furthest, he's now following them, and we've had EJE, Laszlo Orsi, and IK. They've gone a long way into the sector. It seems that going right was the direction of choice in most cases. There's still quite a few actually, not gone that far. I was just looking down there. Those who've said UZ who climbed away from reasonably low. He's I think he's been in and into the sector and come out again. I'm looking at ZL7. I think he's been in and come out again. Aha, Zelko. So this is the other one. This is the other one that I tend to fly on and talk to on Discord when we're flying. Yeah, he's doing all right. 50, nearly 60k. So he should be doing okay. That's quite a good distance compared to the other two, AM and KOE. I would imagine Red's about the same, and all those in that area. 007, who started first, I can see him now in the distance. It's nice to see Zelko. He's going up in a very good thermal, by the looks of it. Oh, not quite on that side though. NPX again. 71k. So he's doing all right. I see in the distance. Well, Martin May's there, KMI's there. So there's another little gaggle. So it seems to be AM and KOE out at the front with NPX. Good distance. It looks like possibly NPX will clip the the second sector on the inside. Actually, having said that, he's more. Yeah, he is actually going directly for the middle. The other two are quite a long way off to the left as we look at it. Oh, ZGZ. Nice to see him up at over 3,000 feet. Oh, who's that? Oh, ZG. Yeah, that's him again. Still him. EB2. First time we've seen him this evening. LS4. Of course, you don't get a good representation of what the climb actually is because it's not compensated, but it's not bad in places by the looks of it. Seems like they've been getting thermals of about 3.5 to about 5 in meters per second. Watching the bottom of the screen, I've been looking each time to see what they've actually been achieving or what they've been in. Oh, somebody's shot off there. Aha. So now we have 269, another one we haven't seen so far this evening. Donat Pierre Luigi, SW20. 55.6 kilometers. But of course, as I said at the beginning, they're different distances, but you just don't know where they are in the scheme of things because you don't know when they started or anything like that. I must admit, in competitions in the UK, you tend to get one AAT probably in a comp. I quite enjoy them. I think they're good fun because you just go and do your own thing. So 007. So he was the first. Interesting. Now he was the first to go. I guess he didn't start again. 54.2. So he hasn't fared quite as well by the looks of it. A good climb there, but he seems to have not done quite as well as AM and KOE have done. Martin May looks a little bit lower. I guess he's in the same thermal. I don't think he's that low, but he's a bit lower. This second leg seems to have been a bit more tricky. Looking at them, a lot of them seem to be a lot lower than they were on the first leg. They're matching each other, aren't they? These two. Be interesting to see if they stick now. They stick together and do the rest of the task together. I'm guessing that they've. Well, no, they have. They've both done the same difference, I think, same distance. So it will be down ultimately, depending on how they get on. It'll be down to the speed, but they do seem to be matching each other quite nicely. Both in 20s, I think. So. Aha. So what do we got now? Let's have a look. Oh, MPX by the look, he's in the second sector. Going down the line. So we've got NPX ZL7, I think. And KOE and AM. Closely followed by it's one or two seem to have slowed down a touch. Red is David Redmond's not quite as fast as he was, I don't think. And 007 lost a bit of ground. I don't know whether this, as I said, I think this second leg may be been a little bit more tricky than the first one. But it's interesting to see the spread in the first sector as well, to see where people went. The ones that are interestingly, the ones that have done going really well and longer distance have gone out off to the right. If you look at IK, he's been in that sector for quite a long time now, so I'm guessing he's slowed down a little bit. I'm just looking to see where the others are, like 6BM. I'm looking for KMI, but I can't see. He's there, obviously there somewhere, but I can't see him. Martin May has lost a bit of ground as well by the looks of it. But these two up front, they seem to be matching each other turn for turn. Of course, the second to the third sector is quite a short one. Again, I'm not sure. We're coming up to 9 o'clock, so we're not far short of an hour, I wouldn't have thought. So they've got half an hour to get it on time, but it doesn't matter if you're not on time, as long as you're not, as I said, under time. That's where you'll lose out. So we're back with NPX. He was right on the line, I think. And I think he's been in. I don't know if he's been in and come out again. Other two are going to be. He's done 102k now, so he's doing okay. I was going to say it proves my point that the LS4 is the weapon of choice, but I'm more than likely to be proved wrong at some point. But everybody who I see fly this in club class, they always do better in an LS4. Zelko again, so 74k. So he's doing well. I thought he left quite late. Little bit, well, a couple of 1,000 feet. Depending on, well, we know it's not good low down, but that was low down. So nothing to worry about here at the moment. Zelko does not like not doing well. He likes to put in a good speed, and no doubt he won't disappoint this evening. With a bit of luck, it's a bit like Chris Pearson, exactly the same. They don't like putting in they're very critical of their own performance. And looking at that, because NPX was on his right, he's going to go further. Oh, he's got the Belika colour scheme. Martin May. I thought he was up. Oh no, he went back, didn't he? So he's actually 63k. So I think he went all the way back to start and started again. It's just how long he took before he actually restarted. Looks like THB's doing well. We haven't seen much of THB, have we? Oh, there's Harley, KMI. To be fair, that's exactly what he did to me on Friday at the Marburg Open one. Only he was going faster and he just kept going. And looking at the height they're at, if this is a good thermal, they will more than likely stop and take this one. See. Yeah, it looks like. I mean, somebody's done the work and found it. All you've got to do is find the center and go. So by looking at my reckoning at the moment, is NPX is done the greatest distance. These two aren't far behind. ZL7's sticking pretty close to them as well. And it looks like they are going more to the left of the sector. I didn't see what the actual wind speed was for the task at flying height, because the next leg is into wind. So now they're in sector. I've got to decide what to do and where to go. I think that decision's been taken there by KOE. I think he's decided that's as far as he wants to go. I don't know. I might be wrong. It's certainly a very positive change of direction there. And of course, for tonight's task, they have to remember that there is a minimum finish height. In this particular case, it's 600 meters. And if I'm right about it, it's 600 meters actually on the circle, on the edge of the circle. You can't go fast and then pull up into it. You've actually got to be 600 meters as you cross the line. GDT, the Pegas again. These guys all head into the second sector. Must have, it's quite nice sitting here watching this rather than having the pressure of actually having to do it. I can see KMI now with Marcin May, so he's and David Redman all together in their gaggle out in the distance, and then but it depends. When you look back like that, you think, oh well, they're a long way behind. Well, we don't know where we know roughly where they went, but it'll only come out in the wash when everybody's finished. So here's Stefan Beach in a 20. Wonder if he's going to go and join Chris Pearson in 6 p.m. or whether he's going to not bother. No, that's interesting. He's carried on from that one, so can be the way you can pull up underneath somebody and think he's going up well, and then you pull up underneath someone and find nothing. So it's a case of put the nose down and carry on and try and go on to the next one. He's got plenty of height, so it's not an issue. Here we got David Redman. Aha. So the map. Let's have a look. What have we got? Yeah, still quite a few people in the first sector. I'm just trying to have a look. I can't. Yeah, I think that's EQ right in the top left hand. Well, not the right, the top left hand corner, but EQ still in there. WRW, which is, I think that's Vitold. Yeah, I get the impression that it's not as easy as you'd think it was with the way that they are not making great progress. But then when you've got a low cloud base, to be fair, your run time in the glide is much shorter because you've got high ground and lowish cloud base. And so you're not going to be able to run as far or as fast before stopping to take another one. So we've got a couple approaching. 007, he's not far now from it. AM has now turned. He's now turned. Gone to quite a long way to the left in that sector. And of course, it gets a bit confusing when you see all those lines near the start. You don't know who's what and where. Red, yeah, David Redman's not that far. PJ, Marcin May, so they're all second, almost 2 to 3. still quite a large number in one, to be fair. There's a couple of aircraft in Sector 3, but I don't know. NPX. I think NPX is in 3. I'm not sure how far it is from 3 to the finish, so they've really got to get this absolutely right. It takes a bit of, I must admit, it takes a bit of guesswork out of it when you do it with an UDI, because you just set AAT and it just counts the time down, so you know where you're at. I've never done it on here with the UDI. I've just sort of set a stopwatch and done it that way. But yeah, NPX is in Sector 3 and somebody else is as well. I can't read the writing, but somebody else is in there. I suppose what they could do, what they're doing, I think, is going to the top of Sector 3, and then they can turn and go for the finish. So we've got a Mars in May. Oh, that's not, again, that's a little bit lower than probably you'd want to be. Not low, but at the same time, it's not that comfortable. There was somebody just on his right, which I think was PJ, and we've got Red, GHK, KOE and AM, of course, split, but AM's gone a little bit further than KOE at this particular stage because he went further into the left-hand side of the sector. I think we've got 2 in the 3rd sector. Stuart Henschel, another Brit. NPX, so 132 kilometers. I think he's in the 3rd. Yeah. And I think what he's going to do is he's going to go to the top of the sector and then turn and go back. That should give him quite a good distance. Oh no, he's heading towards the finish. Of course, no, not knowing what time he started, we've got no idea. I've got no idea what time he's done so far. Looks like a good rate of climb. 3.7 there. Oh, even better. Yeah, so there's KOEAM. There's all the others coming up behind. Oh, nice to see ZUZ in there as well. In the screen, I can see right in the corner. THB. This is the first time we've seen a close up of him today. 94 kilometers. LS4 again. Plenty of height, so he's not too much in the way of issues. It looks like Marcin May's down there trying to climb away, but no, he's doing okay. It's nice to get a handle and see all of them as they're flying around, so that we have actually covered every glider that's in. I think we've had 2 Libelles and one DG 101, which I wouldn't have. I'd forgotten that was actually in this class, or even on Condor. Arnie Martin. So 102 kilometers. Yeah, a bit low. Going out to the left-hand side of the sector as he's lost a bit of height. If you look at then KOE just a bit further on, he's and GHK they look a bit higher, but he is climbing quite well. So looks like EQ's coming to join him, or not. Looks like he did a little bit of a pull up and a weave, and he's gone on. So I'm just trying to work out what I think the longest distance might be. I'm thinking it might be about 150, something like 150k. 150 plus. I think it's been a bit slower between the thermals and the cloud base, not as high as you'd probably like it to be. PJ 94k now. He's yeah, they're all getting a little bit lower down here. This area. Oh, he's pulled up there. Yeah. So okay. Oh, yeah. So he's in a better position. With him and Arnie Martin were together. He's in a better position now. One was down at about 400 meters, and he's up at 1,200. Do we have a distance thing? The top, however many? Just to see where we're at. We haven't looked at that yet, have we? Just to see. So 100 NPX, yeah, 100. Yeah, NPX is doing really well. Yeah, several over 100 now. So it's basically going to be all down to how close to the time they are. I still think we're going to be around about 100, between 150 and 180. I might be wrong, but looking at the speeds they're doing, not been overly fast. So it looks like the dominant characters have been in this one: NPX, AM, KOE. Oh, somebody went, yeah, right to the top of the sector there, which was a good plan. That was a good plan to go all that way. So again, there's a lot still together. KOE is going to cut the corner by the looks of it. NPX, where's he been? I can't see a trail for him, but I think he went. So, oh, it's a white one. Yeah, I think he went reasonably up. I think just about everyone's cleared the first sector now as well. So there's quite a few. Oh, I'm thinking. I don't know how far it is to finish from there, but we should. Well, he's not far from the finish. I don't know how long he's been going, but he's one would have thought, looking at the height he's got, where the finish is, he's a pull up underneath this cloud and then a cruise into the finish. Yeah, he's just left this. I think he's just left the sector. He's about to leave the sector. He's still quite high, so he's KOE still. It doesn't. The finish doesn't look that far away from this one. So it looks like they might be the first two to finish. Both done a similar distance. I wouldn't be surprised if KOE's gone a bit further. So EQ, yeah, he's approaching the third. I think he went a long way south. And now working his way just to clip the edge, I would have thought. and more than likely one more thermal away. Yes, he's not got far to run, has he? Nope. Yeah, he's nearly there. KOE. Two in sector. You can see that there's a couple. They're heading for right on the edge of it. I would have thought. GHK's gone quite a long way south. He's got to work his way back and then head for home. Just looking down the list to see who's don't know if we've lost ZL7. Yep, here we go. He's just got to get his height right. So he's obviously not. He's got 170 meters. He can afford to burn off. Been good so far. I don't know what airfield they're landing at, but just pulling up a bit now just to make sure he's got a little bit in hand. Looks like he's done it. Fantastic. Yeah. So 158.8 kilometers. And here comes number two, so 154. Oh, so now we've got some speed. He was 109, so he's 6 BM is got a good speed, and F9's got a good speed as well. So it come down to distance, but that's interesting to see. Okay, so that's another one home. That's good. 158.8. So oh, This is not as high as he would like to be. He needs to have a little bit more, so I don't know where he is in the scheme of it, but he's obviously not far away. So yeah, he wants one more climb, doesn't he? And then he'll be, which means he'll average will drop off a little bit. Bearing in mind that the ground is in that area is 405 meters, and he's only at 475. Let's see what he's got. 3 point. Oh, let's see. He needs to find something quick. And that's the trouble when you get. Well, it's looking better now. That's the trouble when you get low down. Turning tight, and they can be really a bit disjointed. Well, he's sticking with it. He's got a bit of a ridge there. He's half in, half out at the moment, but he is, or I think he was climbing. So EQ hasn't got far to go. He's got plenty of height. There's AM down on his left as he cruises over. That's another thing that you hate to see. You're struggling to climb to get enough to finish, and other people are cruising over the top. Both on here and when you're out in the doing it. I'm going to speak too soon, but it looks like he's home and dry. It just depend on what this distance is going to be. I'm interested to watch at the moment 6 BM Chris, 123.5 kilometers per hour. So he's ramped the speed up a bit. Oh, he's very high. I say very high compared to the ones we've seen of late. That's he's obviously going further into the sector as well. He's not turned off, I don't think. Got him. Yeah. So he's in a good position at the moment. It depends on what he decides to do. And he did come back and start again. I remember. So Looks we've got 3 there, another 3 just about to arrive. 6 p.m. is going in the opposite direction, so he's obviously decided that he's got enough to go up and then come back down again. And then you've got Martin May, David Redmond further back, Vitold slightly further back. There's a few in the second sector, including KMI. So it looks like a great track. I can't read the number, but he's gone right up to the top of the third sector and then worked his way back down again. That's quite a long distance. He's still high. So THB 142k. He's on his EQs ahead of him. So looks like they'll be the next 2. I think there's one further out to the right, but I can't see. And I'm guessing that AM is trying to get a bit of height to get enough to get home. They've all been about that distance as well when they've reached this particular point, about 140 odd. So I think it could be quite close, except the LS4 will win out on handicap, of course. $140 GDT. Pegas, he's good handicap wise. Interestingly, a really nice glide to fly in real life, I have to say, having done a bit in Pegas and Pegas 90. It looks like when we came back to him here, with AM has climbed, so I think we might be he might have got himself out the mire, for want of a better way of putting it. I don't know how far he's got to go, but 961, so 300 meters, 1,000 feet or thereabouts. Yeah. Oh well, he certainly made sure of it now. Well played. We did think that that might be a land out the way he was down in the weeds, but he's done a good job there. Disappointing thing for him, it will knock his average speed, but as I said before, you don't want to be landing out on one of these. I know for real, landing out is a no-no. So we've got 2 there. Oh, EQ looked quite low, didn't he? Don't know how much further he's got to go. Again, distances, they've all been, what, 158, 155.8, something like that. So they're all 150 plus. I think they've worked for their beer tonight, that's for sure. Looks like he's looks like it's going to be about 155 something. So the distances are the same. The 2 have already finished, have gone by the looks of it. It is quite interesting to watch when you're watching it and you see what they've done. That they're all coming in about the same distance, and yet they've all followed different routes. Ooh, yeah, he's slowing down. Oh, this could be a slightly tricky one. He's now, unfortunately, below the minimum finish height. That's it. Oh, there he goes. Oh, well played. Uh, oh, who's that coming? We didn't see him finish, so I don't know whether he was above or not. He looks like he's still got a fair distance to run in that, doesn't he? Oh yeah, Arnie Martin's now can see the finish line. Got the finish line in his sights. GDT. David Redman is there. EJA, which is Laszlo Orsi. 6 p.m. If he's still the same height. Marcin May is there. ZUZ, the standard Cirrus. KMI is just about to go through the third sector. Ben Fester, we haven't seen much of. He's just in the third sector. I don't know if we didn't have one that was a bit low. And of course, when they scrutinise as well, they will check the speed at which they started, which is 97 knots ground speed. So you have to gauge. Hello, back in again. So how's he doing? 651 AM. Well, we weren't sure whether he'd get there, but it looks like he is. He's just got to slow down just a bit to avoid any penalty points. I mean, he's done it, but you don't want penalty points, really. Interesting. Another one. If we look, when we look at the distances, 158.8. The last one was 158.8. He's not going particularly fast, so he hasn't got much room to manoeuvre in terms of pulling up. But hopefully he's. Oh no, he's down below now. So well, he's going to finish. Just there'll be a few points knocked off of finishing below the max minimum height, unfortunately. David Redman. Looks like he should be in. Of course, I was just trying to work it out. I don't think it'll show the actual distances until they put their traces in. So we'll come up with a generic, I think. I think what it does is it works out, you've been into each sector and it works out what that distance is. Because if this comes up the same as, I think it, yeah, it's a generic distance. It's when they put the file in, and they'll separate them all out and see who's gone the furthest and fastest. So the three in the top three have finished. Still one or two in the second sector, between 2 and 3. I would hope that all those that we can see now will actually get round. Yeah, KMI is there, so he's what have we got? GHK, so 853 meters. He wants 600. He's got a bit of speed. He can bleed off if he has to. It depends on how far he's got to go. Must have heard me because he just put the nose down. So I think we've got another wave here, another 3 on the way in. GHK is 1. I think 6BM is there somewhere on the right, and there's somebody coming down the middle. Ah, said you said. Looks like he's about to leave the 3rd sector. So we're not far from approaching the end of the transmission tonight. We're watching a couple more. Hope you've enjoyed what you've seen. It's been good fun doing this and watching without the pressure of actually having to fly it. I believe the next one is in Greece. But I'm not sure when, but that will obviously come up as the time goes on. This is obviously only the first race of the UK. There's another one tomorrow. Coming thick and fast now. Yeah, Martin May is in. EJE's back. I imagine 6BM is either about to or nearly done. Is he? I'm just trying to work out where he's going. But yeah, I hope it's been enjoyable looking at some of the UK scenery. It's you ever get a chance in the Peak District, well, there's lots of nice places in the UK, but we do have some good soaring sites. Thought he's going not quite as directly as I thought he would have done, but oh, WRW's there and MY, so yeah, and nearly all back now. I don't think we lost too many. I think we might have lost 2. If he's trying to get more distance out of that. I think maybe that's why he went off to that right-hand corner. Oh, somebody's having fun. Well, after you've sat there doing this for a couple of hours, it's good to have a bit of fun. I think they did that in stereo as well. And that's the great thing about Condor is you can do that. If you if you did that on your home airfield in front of your CFR, you might be in trouble. Yes, that was a decent bit of parking, wasn't it? I can only think he knows the airfield. Ooh, this could be a bit tricky. I don't think we've had a serious finish yet, have we? I don't think so. I think this will be the first one. And oh, oh, we're back. Yes. I hope you've enjoyed watching as much as I've enjoyed um, waffling on about nothing in particular, but it's certainly been interesting to see we've done on the World Series. And of course, if anybody feels like they want to commentate on any of the others, give it a go. I think the lowest finisher so far was 507, so he's a bit higher. Good. Well done. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Well, thank you for watching. Time to go. Uh, I hope you've enjoyed yourselves this evening as much as I have anyway. And as I said, the next one is Greece, and we'll catch up with you then. Until then, good night from myself and the team who have done a fantastic job behind me, making sure I didn't trip up at any stage. Well, not too much anyway. Thank you very much.